Good morning, Twitch.tv. Good morning to YouTube as well. And, of course, good morning, Mini Motorways. We are off to Dubai for today's daily challenge, which will see the speed limit decreased on bridges. But we start with 3 motorways, which is nice. Unfortunately, we have to bust out a bridge immediately, but, you know, it's fine. We'll bridge over this way. This little green section going off like so. Are the closed captions new? No, I don't think so. I have a plugin in OBS that does automatic closed captions if my mic's hot, and my mic's hot, so there should be closed captions. You can turn them off, I assume, if they're annoying, but they shouldn't be new. They've been there for a while. Cat, get away from the... God. Cats are lovely and adorable creatures, except for all of the various annoying things they do, such as try to eat my cables. Stop doing that. Good morning, Coffee Cafe. Fishingworth was here first. Good morning, Fishingworth. Sunflare Space is here as well. Good afternoon, Sunny. Hope you are doing well. We'll run this yellow road out this way. I could have saved that tree, but honestly, I didn't want to. Gave me great joy and it didn't give me joy and pleasure. It was just in the way in this straight line. Unfortunately, this bridge. You know what? Hold on. We're gonna have to redraw that. Give me 2 traffic lights. This is unacceptable. You know what? This bridge is a little longer than it has to be, and that's not the end of the world. That bridge, way too fucking long. Look at the length of this bridge. Look at the ridiculous length of this bridge. We're doing something different and better with that. Give it a second. Unfortunately, this yellow car has to go all the way back before we can actually get rid of the bridge, but it'll be fine. This is the Goog Washington Bridge. Good morning, Hulkamat. You come over to here. There. Now, oh no! Son of a bitch! The bridge was... That's not fair. That's not fair. You... Alright, well, the game gave us 3 motorways for a reason. I'm not putting up with that bridge bullshit. Not doing it. Absolutely not doing it. Not in a million, quadrillion, cajillion years. We're not doing it. These 2 yellows are going this way, motorway number 1 into there. We'll use a different bridge at another time. Good God. Good morning, Hulkamat. Is this blue? Do people see this as blue? I guess it can be like a bluish green, but I don't think I would ever describe this color as anything primarily other than green. It's almost like people have different eyes that see things differently. It's almost as if no 2 people are exactly alike and no 2 people see the world in exactly the same manner. It's almost like that's a metaphor for society or something. No, it's teal. I'm thinking. I'm overthinking. It's teal. This green here is gonna do that. We're gonna get a bridge back. Hooray, bridge back. You are, boy, you're a circle now. But actually, well, if you're a circle, hold on. If you're gonna be a circle, we might actually be able to have like a small bridge. We can do a small bridge. I'm okay with a tiny little bridge. I'm not necessarily opposed to the concept of a tiny little bridge. You go that way, you go over here, we'll reclaim this motorway, get a 4th yellow house going down to the circle. This is all gonna be fine. Also, color perception is influenced by culture. I'm sure there are like studies that say, you know, oh, French people would say this is a greenish blue, whereas Portuguese people would say I can't do a Portuguese accent. If I try to do a Portuguese accent, it gets racist. So, You know that the Family Guy bit where Peter Griffin pulls out the color-coded card to determine how mean to a person he should be when he's a traffic cop? Just imagine I have the same card, except the darker the skin gets, the more racist the joke gets, which means I can't tell the joke. Just, yeah, don't do it. Goog. This yellow is going to come down this way. Yeah, French I can make fun of the French because French are basically white people, and I'm white people. Italians is like the borderline. That might be the reason that Italians are so very particular. And when I say Italians, I really mean Italian Americans who fucking love claiming that they're Italian. You know, the kind of people who get super upset whenever anyone does anything other than Columbus Day on Columbus Day. You know, those kind of people. God damn. Okay. I crack me up, which is funny. That's the important thing. Another important thing is that we got to get greens over to here somehow, which, bad. Not a huge fan of it, to be honest. You go there. These yellows can loop around thusly. And what we'll do is we'll motorway number 1 up to the north here. There. You don't have to deal with anything else. Yeah, a motorway is just a fancy bridge. This is a fancy curvy bridge that means I don't have to cross this road. It's a lovely thing. This would be an awful nightmare as a driver, by the way. You got a curve going under an overpass? Oh, fuck that. Fuck the fuck out of that. Additionally, this beigeish thing over here exists, which isn't great, but, you know. It's basically Sunday. We can survive. Hopefully we'll get a bridge. If we don't get a bridge, I'll just motorway this as a temporary fix, but we can get a bridge. It'll be fine. It'll all be fine. So, last night on stream, we played Final Fantasy Tactics, which is indeed a pretty good and fun game. Didn't get a bridge. Oh well. Take a roundabout and 20 road tiles, and we'll draw motorway number 2. I'm just going to pre-draw the road that I want to have here, because, you know, that's smart. You go there. So this road's going to come here. We're going to put a bridge here just as soon as we have a bridge, so we've pre-drawn this future road. Last night we played Final Fantasy Tactics, and it is worth noting that next Tuesday is the day after Christmas, which means that our good friend Circle Master will not be here for Final Fantasy Tactics. And I was thinking, you know, maybe that would be a good reason to do something else on a Tuesday. Like, I enjoy Tactics, and we're going to continue Tactics. It's not like I'm stopping Tactics or anything, but, you know, maybe a Tuesday one-shot of something else would be good. Or not. Maybe I'm talking out my ass. We'll see. This pink goes over this way. You pop over there. These pinks come over here. Everybody panic. Hulkamat, you're exactly right. Underscore Goog is saying no more Final Fantasy Tactics forever and ever. Or ever. These purples are annoying. Give me a bridge. We'll take a bridge. You pop over here. I'm not actually stopping Tactics. We're considering taking one Tuesday off so that I can do a gimmick stream. I don't even know what the gimmick is. You come over this way. You go off that way. You will go here, like so. And then what we'll do is we're going to run this up here like this. And this right there is a traffic light, like so. So what my point was is if y'all hop in the Discord server and come up with suggestions. Does my bang games command work? I think my bang games command works. Think of stuff that you might want to see as part of like a one shot on some random Tuesday, and by some random Tuesday I mean next Tuesday, December the 26th. You know, that Tuesday. And we'll probably maybe do some or one of them. I don't know. I had the idea that I might try out that demo of Cyberpunk 2077 that I have for being a fancy PlayStation person. Seems like a decent thing to do. See if we like that game. If we like that game, I might buy that game. Who knows? These beiges go off this way. I could 1B 1R this with the help of a motorway. Probably wouldn't be the worst idea in the world. This beige is going to loop around and down and in, like so. could play Hades again. It's been a while since I played Hades. I'm so bad at Hades, though. Mostly because I haven't played Hades in forever. I'm fine at Hades. I have best friend gun. Best friend gun means you don't have to have skill. You just have best friend gun. This pink will swing up this way. This business is well supported. Motorway number 1's doing its job. Speaking of motorways, give me another one of those. So we've got the... You know what? Honestly, we don't need all of this pinky, beigey, sherry, roady bullshit going on. I've got plenty of motorways. I can afford to spend one of them making my life simpler and better. Because after all, simple and clean is the way that you're... Oh. Hi. You know, I was going to make a Kingdom Hearts joke. Game? You couldn't just let me have my Kingdom Hearts joke, huh? Alright, fine. Well, you go off that away. All of these frickin' beiges exist here. Holy crap. You know what? What I was going to do is have motorway number 2 go up to here and then supplement with some of these, but that seems silly and dumb. What if instead of that, we do motorway number 2 as a straight shot up that away? Additionally, we're going to take this motorway right here, motorway number 3, go service that yellow. Now, all y'all can do this thing. Doot and doot. Ow, ow, ow. My face. You come up here. You swing in and down and over like so. Incidentally, you two come over here and have a traffic light. That is a perfectly cromulent traffic light. Hooray! We'll get yellows to swing out that away. Go support this thing. Oh, this is the most convenient little green business there's ever been. I'm sorry, I'm a big fan of that. Also, yeah, Hulkman has a point. This map got really big really fast. Like, we expanded into a great expanse of nothing. Kind of like, well, Dubai, honestly. They did kind of build a mega city in the desert for reasons of wealth and power, and basically that's it. But hey, give me a bridge. I don't have any of those. They're useful. We're not going to use one right away, though, because we've got a bunch of shit to deal with. We'll take motorway number 4. We'll swing you up that away. That will be cool. How many more beiges would have to spawn? Actually, you know, I could... I've heard of the line. It's like the idea is it's a super mega city that's just like one big straight line, which sounds stupid and awful. And I recall reading like one article of it being a really terrible, inefficient idea, but you know, Dubai and adjacent properties. It's kind of their thing. We're going to reroute motorway number 2 so that it comes up here, services this business. These 3 are going to go over to this. These 5 are going to support that. I am not educated enough to have really strong, well-formed, and informed opinions about anything, really, but particularly the geopolitics of the region that we commonly refer to as the Middle East. But my general idea is that if the folks in charge of Dubai are doing it, it's not a great idea for people who aren't the folks in charge of Dubai. Let's have a bridge. We're going to take a bridge. I suppose I'm allowed to have some opinions about professional wrestling. That's true. Samurai Sam would like a true fact about professional wrestling. Have I told the story of well, I was going to call it the plane ride from hell. The plane ride from hell is a different horrible thing that happened in pro wrestling. Have I told the story of the time WWE wrestlers got kidnapped by the Saudi government? Yeah. Oh God, I can't remember why. there was some like, I can't remember the inside. Like I remember the thing is like the Saudi government kidnapped a bunch of WWE wrestlers and held them hostage, but I don't remember why. They were mad at Vince McMahon over something. Was it broadcast rights? Oh, I can't tell the story if I don't remember the reason. That would be stupid. Oh, well. Okay. Okay, so these three go over here. These four are currently supporting this business this way. That seems kind of silly and dumb. You know, we can do better than that. What we can do is we can kill this awful big long bridge road thing. This awful big long bridge road thing doesn't actually have to do that. Instead, it can do this. We can have the 1, 2, 3 of you go down here. I remember. Okay. I think I remember. I could be wrong, but I'm going to tell the story the way I remember it because it's my show. So first of all, we're going to put a roundabout right here. This roundabout right here is going to funnel traffic into this purple business and also this beige business, and it's going to be fine. That is a thing that the Saudi government did. Listen, Saudi government, not great folks. Not great folks. But here's a true fact about professional wrestling. So one time, the Saudi government decided that as part of their continuing effort to use big fancy sporting events to kind of launder their image in the United States and abroad, they wanted to hold a wrestling show. And by hold a wrestling show, they wanted to have the biggest goddamn wrestling show in the history of the world. Because, you know, if you're trying to sports wash your image, you don't go for just a thing that's good, you go for the biggest goddamn thing that's good in the history of the world. So the Saudi government wants to hold a pro wrestling show that's the biggest goddamn pro wrestling show in the history of the world. And they decide, and they partner with the biggest goddamn pro wrestling company in the history of the world, which of course is WWE. WWE, shock of shocks, totally happy to work with the Saudi government. Because after all, they're both evil fucks, why don't they be evil fucks together? Well, what happened was, after the show, I think this was the Greatest Royal Rumble, which was a bad show. Here's the thing. Well, we'll get there. So after the show goes off, things happen, whatever. The reason WWE agrees to do this is that the Saudi government throws a shit fuck ton of goddamn money at WWE. Like tens of millions of dollars. Like WWE makes more money on this show than they ever make at any WrestleMania. Okay? Coffee Cafe notes that the beige houses right here can totally get to this circle without the roundabout, which, listen, is correct. I'm sure there was a point in my life where I didn't have this road available. I don't remember when that point was, but, you know, we're just going to do this, and that's going to be fine, and then these two are going to hoop down here, and they're going to do that, and I'm going to toss a traffic light here, and this is all going to be great, good, and fine and such, actually. You know what? We don't even need a traffic light, because I can just replace, say, these three going out here, boop, 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 into that business, and then these three right here go boop and boop and boop and boop and boop and boop, and they loop around into this way. Okay. Now the roundabout continues burning a hole in my pocket. An ironically square-shaped hole. So the Saudi government pays WWE.
I've got some bad news.
Rach Awesome! Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. So Rach Awesome comes in with the follow, and we appreciate that. And it is no longer the best choice. Listen, we change for the sake of change. Mix things up. Keep people guessing. Keep them on your toes, I guess. Here, give me a second roundabout I might never use. So WWE makes a fuck ton of money on the show, or at least they're promised it. They were told that they would get a certain amount of money by the end of the show, and they didn't. And Vince McMahon was mad, and he demanded that the Saudi government pay him his money. God damn it. The Saudi government, as you may guess, does not like being told that they have to do, well, anything. So what happens is, after the show, all of WWE's talent, not all of WWE's talent, most of the talent, most of the rosters, not, say, Brock Lesnar, who's a big fancy superstar who flew in and out on Vince McMahon's private plane, and not Vince McMahon, who's the owner of the company who flew in and out on Vince McMahon's private plane. Not those guys, but, you know, most everybody else. Your rank and file WWE superstar, so to speak, is on the plane, waiting to leave, and they're sitting, and they're waiting, and they're sitting, and they're waiting on a tarmac in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, just kinda sitting there, waiting, while, unbeknownst to them, the Saudi government and Vince McMahon are going back and forth, having a tete-a-tete, so to speak, over whether, say, Vince McMahon is going to insist that he be paid right away, or whether, say, everyone aboard that plane is going to be killed. These are equally possible outcomes. You know, it's a discussion. There are many options on the table. Eventually, Vince McMahon came to the decision that, you know what? You can pay me later. The Saudi government said, okay, we'll pay you later. And then, as it turns out, everyone aboard the plane wasn't killed. Which is good. It would have been bad. So, listen. Was it a definite 100% certainty that if Vince McMahon didn't relent to the demands of the Saudi government, everyone aboard that plane would have been killed? Maybe not. Did multiple people who were on that plane say that they saw troops with guns just marching around the plane and that they themselves on the plane were convinced that they and everyone aboard the plane was going to be killed and no one has ever told them differently? Yep. Does WWE go back to Saudi Arabia twice a year to continue doing business with these evil, awful people because, after all, they give them tens of millions of dollars? WWE is bad. They do business with bad people. This is not news. It is a true fact about professional wrestling. Oh, we've got 2 roundabouts we're not using. Let's take a 4th bridge that we also won't use. This green over here has just gone circular, which is troublesome. Fortunately, we have like 8 quadrillion greens right here that aren't doing anything. So what we can do is staple, say, 9 of these. I can get 9 of these together pretty dang easily. And move motorway number 1 so that the 9 of these greens swing out this way and go support this business. This little guy here has been flying solo for a while, but as you can see, it is still totally fine. This pink square is the most supported pink square. This little beige thing came into oh, I suppose I can add this one. I didn't see a path to add that one, but yeah, we can add that one, and now there are 11 greens. 11 greens popping out over this way, which is cool and good and fine and such. You can join this beige road going up here to this circle. That'll be cool. You know what? Hold on. Why did I make I made this a motorway because it had been a motorway from something else. This doesn't need to be a motorway. Come on. I know we want to minimize bridge length and all that, but come on, that doesn't need to be a motorway. That did not need to be a motorway. We can also get this this Beige's house right here actually involved. So, listen, bridges are bridges, but it's okay. You go that away. You should point that away. The yellow doesn't need to be motorwayed there either. Actually, that's a good, fair, strong, accurate point. I've got this yellow business being supported by motorway number 3, which is way the hell over here. But we also have all of these yellow houses right this way. Samurai Sam has redeemed the Goog's top 3 and would like to know the Goog's top 3 tag teams. And listen, this is one where I don't feel qualified to say the absolute best or even my personal favorites. Like, I like a lot of tag teams. So I'm going to name 3 tag teams that I just remember and think fondly of. And these are not in any way my actual top 3 favorite tag teams, but you know what? It's goofy and funny, and I enjoyed them. So, in no particular order, we're going to start with... Also, this is going to make Hulkamat laugh, because I talk about these guys way more than I should for their tiny little runs. Coffee Cafe asks if Saudi royalty helping Elon Musk buy Twitter counts against them. I think that counts against both of them, honestly. Like, Elon Musk is the shittiest individual dude in the world, maybe, and the Saudi government getting in bed with him certainly doesn't reflect well on them. But also, the Saudi government is the shittiest group of collective individual dudes in the world, and Elon Musk getting in bed with them doesn't look good on him. So, everyone's a loser. Yes, these are 3 tag teams that the Goog feels like talking about. My number 3 is the Dashing Ones. These teams all have stupid names. I kind of like stupid names for my tag teams. The Dashing Ones was a team of Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre in like 2010-ish WWE. Let's take a third bridge. This purple here. Oh, you've been a circle for a while. Oh, buddy. Oh, friend guy. Oh, you've been a circle for a while and you've been totally kafucked this whole time? Oh, I feel bad for you. Here, let's run 1, 2, 3 more of these. Yeah, we've got 3, 7. Here's 9 purples that we're just gonna swing down here. We're gonna add this, and we're gonna add these to all of y'all. Are gonna go over here, support that circle. But these 9 purple houses are going to take motorway number 2 down into here and actually sustain this business. Buddy, you've been dying for so long. So, this is a story of 2 go-nowhere mid-card gimmicks that formed a tag team and were amazing. Cody Rhodes got injured one time. This is early in his WWE career. He was not like the big star that he is now or anything. He was a promising young mid-carder. And then he got injured, and when he was coming back, he grew a mustache, just for yucks, basically. Except he kind of liked it, so he decided it would be part of his look and his presentation and his gimmick and all of that. And then, according to everyone involved, this is a shoot. Like, this is a true fact about professional wrestling. There was a poll of the women in the locker room of who the most attractive guy on the roster was, and Cody Rhodes won the poll. Cody Rhodes, handsome gentleman, not gonna lie, good looking fella. So Cody Rhodes wins this silly little poll of who's like the handsomest guy on the roster or whatever, and they decide, you know what, fuck it, that's his gimmick. He's Cody Rhodes, he's the handsomest man in the world. He is Dashing Cody Rhodes. Because, why not have a silly nickname to go with your silly gimmick? He's not just Cody Rhodes, who's handsome and has a mustache or whatever. He's Dashing Cody Rhodes. So, dashing Cody Rhodes is like the Intercontinental Champion or whatever, and he has a nice little run, and it's fun, and he does some silly stuff, and then he gets into a tag team with Drew McIntyre. And this is Drew McIntyre before he became a big deal superstar that he allegedly is now, when he was a promising young mid-carder. You notice that a lot of promising young mid-carders flame the fuck out in WWE? Yeah, this happens. So Drew McIntyre's thing was that he was the chosen one. He was handpicked by Vince McMahon to be the future of the company, which is basically true. He kind of was handpicked by Vince McMahon to be the future of the company, and it didn't work out for a while. And then it kind of worked out, but then it never really worked out. There was a plague. But I digress. So dashing Cody Rhodes teams up with the chosen one, Drew McIntyre, and they form the Dashing Ones, a tag team of cocky jackasses. And they were fun. Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre are fun, charismatic, good wrestlers. They had good chemistry as a tag team. They were enjoyable. I don't think they won the tag team titles or anything. I don't remember them doing much, but they were a good, fun tag team for like 3 weeks. You may notice that the 3 tag teams we're going to talk about here were good, fun tag teams for like 3 weeks. My second tag team of dudes I'm going to talk about is #Celtic Vipers. There's a reason you have to say #Celtic Vipers, and the reason is WWE used to do this pay-per-view called Taboo Tuesday, which was basically a gimmick where fans voted on who's participating in a match, or who's like what the stipulation of a match is, or who the guest referee is, that sort of thing. And they were doing a Taboo Tuesday pay-per-view, and you needed to pick some tag team, right? It was some like wacky partners tag team, who's going to team up to go for the tag titles or something like that. And they were doing it, instead of doing an online poll, they were doing a poll over Twitter. And it was whoever uses one of these teams' hashtags the most, that team wins, right? So if you wanted like John Cena and I don't know, Isaac Yankem to be a tag team, you would say #ThugDoctors or something like that. That's not a real thing. I made that up. But it was one of those, right? You would tweet using #ThugDoctors, and they would be a team. Well, one of the random mismatch partner tag teams was Randy Orton and Sheamus. And Sheamus is a good, fine, fun, enjoyable professional wrestling type guy. He's a big, bruising Irish brute guy who bashes people about the head and face and is fine. He's good. He's fun. He's Sheamus. He's kind of not great when pushed at a main event level, but yes, indeed, Isaac Yankem was an old Kane gimmick I just pulled out of thin air. Sheamus is fine unless you're trying to make Sheamus your world champion, in which case he's not fine. So Sheamus has been not fine like 3 or 4 times. But broadly speaking, Sheamus is fine. He's good. He's fun. He's enjoyable. He's an ass-kicking fella. Whatever. Sheamus is good and fine. Randy Orton, I fucking hate Randy Orton. Just like, this is irrational, unreasonable, my level of distaste for Randy Orton. I don't care for Randy Orton. I find him very not enjoyable as an entertainer and a performer. It's just true. I don't like Randy Orton. One of the things you need to know about me if you want to understand my professional wrestling fandom is that I do not care for Randy Orton. Except, for whatever reason, every once in a while, Randy Orton decides that he's not gonna take something seriously. And when Randy Orton doesn't take something seriously, he turns into the goofiest, silliest, most athletic, jumpy around motherfucker, and he's actually hilarious. The problem is, if anyone ever tells Randy Orton that he's doing a good job at something, he usually starts giving a shit about it, and when he starts giving a shit about it, it starts to suck. But Randy Orton did not give a fuck about this stupid little tag team he was in with Sheamus for like 2 weeks. So WWE wanted fans to tweet in support of hashtag Celtic Vipers because Sheamus is the Celtic warrior and Randy Orton's super serious I care about this gimmick is that he's the Viper, the Predator. He's lying in the weeds ready to strike at any moment. So hashtag Celtic Vipers were a tag team that existed for like an hour and a half, and they were very fun. They were probably the most fun Randy Orton's ever been. And I remember and I enjoy hashtag Celtic Vipers. And then the third one, God, I thought of 3 more teams just like this while I was doing this bit. Now I can't decide which one of them I'm going to say is my third in this very, very, very important Goog's top 3. My life is so hard, you guys. These purples probably need to... Everything's falling apart, by the way. Also, we're up over like 5,600. I feel bad that there's no AEW on this list. But, you know, there are plenty of tag teams in AEW who fucking rule. AEW has not had that many we exist for 3 weeks and we're goofy and stupid and then we go away tag teams. They just haven't existed for that long. There was a time in starting in 2001 when Edge and Christian were a tag team. Edge and Chris Jericho for 2007 to 2010 or so, Edge and Chris Jericho were in a series of very entertaining tag teams. Edge teamed with Randy Orton in both of their second main event push. They were a tag team, they were a faction, they were very entertaining together. Incidentally, both of these beige groups are gonna fucking die very soon. So I should probably do something to save one or both of them, given that I have 2 distinct clumps of 3 beige houses I can throw at stuff. Should probably do that. What if, say, we threw motorway number 6 right up here and just stapled some beige houses to this beige road? Would that be good? I think that might be good. This beige house, this beige business is just... I don't understand why it's dying. You've got all of the houses in the fucking world. I'm kind of mad that you're dying. Here, you go that way. You have spawned here, which is lovely. So Edge and Randy Orton were a good fun tag team. Team rated RKO. Because, Edge was the rated R superstar and Randy Orton's initials are RKO and that's the name of his finishing move. So, there. Rated RKO. Good tag team. They were fun. Chris Jericho was in a tag team with The Big Show. That was a lot of fun. He was in a tag team with The Miz, which was very fun. This yellow thing here is gonna die, which is not very fun. But, bad things exist. I don't know what to tell you. Here, motorway number 7. Do that. Save those. These yellows are gonna have to be fine. Nope, they died anyway. Okay. We died with 4 motorways, Coffee Cafe. I don't know what to tell you. We got to 6,774, and yet Samurai Sam is dropping the Samurai Slams. Oh, Sam, yesterday you beat me by 7. Yesterday you beat me by 7. That's more frustrating than today when I was number 11 in the world and you were number 4. Good job, Samurai Sam. Where was I going with this? I was bringing in the Wordle window. Hello, the Wordle window. So Edge was in a tag team with Randy Orton. That was good and fun. Chris Jericho was in a tag team with The Big Show. That was very fun. And both of those teams petered out and broke up and feuded with each other. And then they moved on with their lives. And then you've got Edge and Chris Jericho, who are both upper mid-card heels right on the verge in the main event, and they're kind of cocky jackasses, and they kind of think they're better than everybody, and they both kind of had great success in tag teams, and they look at each other and they're like, wait a second, I was the more entertaining and awesome part of my tag team. You were the more entertaining and awesome part of your tag team. What if the 2 of us got together and became the most entertaining and awesome tag team? And they kind of get the big grin and the side eyes and the, wait, can we get away with this? Is nobody going to stop us from doing this? I don't think anybody's going to stop us from doing this. And Edge and Chris Jericho form an awesome tag team, and they win the tag team titles on their very first night of existence. And it's great. It's two dudes who I fucking love, who I had just watched being entertaining and awesome in tag teams separate and apart from each other, but now they're together and they've just won the tag titles, and WWE is making it very clear that they intend for these two fuckers to be a big fucking deal. And then Edge tears his goddamn Achilles in their second match as a team and is out for a year, and then comes back and feuds with Chris Jericho. And the feud wasn't any good, because Edge came back too soon, so he couldn't wrestle that well. R.I.P. Edge and Chris Jericho, the greatest tag team that almost was. Edge and Chris Jericho are both still active wrestlers in AEW right now, actually. They're not going to be a tag team. We're past that. But anyway, those are three tag teams that I remember and liked. That counts as a Goog's top three. There's an E, an A, and a T in this Wordle. It could be T's. Could absolutely be T's. There's no reason it can't be T's, except for the fact that it's not T's. But hey, I got the T and the E in the right place, and by process of elimination, we know that the A has to be right here. So it's TA something something E, which is great. It could be Tan-P. Now granted, Tan-P is not a word, but aside from that, there's no good reason that it can't be. It could be Talbay. Now again, Talbay is not a word, but you know what I mean. It could be Tafwee. Tafwee is not a word, but it is a fun sound to make. So we've got that going for us. This should not be hard. Why am I not seeing an actual word that fits this? It's not taste. There's no S. It could be... I believe you said this word in my Gimmimimim stream. I said a lot of words in my Gimmimimim stream yesterday, Sam. Could be. Could be Final Fantasy Tacte. No. Okay, fine. Said this word yesterday. It was during the Immaculate Grid. Okay. I don't remember a goddamn thing about yesterday. Well, that's not true. I remember I needed to find Cleveland Guardians. That doesn't help much. We talked about World Series Baseball 95 for a moment because Roberto Hernandez came up. Yeah, this is not going to help me remember. Okay. Well, it's not taste. It's, tatty is not a word. So I even said it when I was talking about the Cleveland Guardians. Well, great. Hey guys, this is Jim. No, it can't be Jim Tomei. It's, Nope, this is not how you spell Tammy. Oh boy. This is not how you spell tally. Oh, Joe Table. Jose Mesa. I got it. Thank God. Oh my God. Thank you for the victory, fanfare, Samurai Sam. So that's today's Wordle. The Wordle is table. Let's make connections, shall we? Sometimes there's a scroll bar here, and sometimes there isn't, and I can't figure out any rhyme or reason as to why. It's very annoying. Okay. So, tie, a watch, a bracelet, and a belt are things you wear that wrap around a part of your body, right? A tie goes around your neck, a belt goes around your waist, a watch goes around your wrist, a bracelet also goes around your wrist. So, now are there any other of those? No, there are not. There we go. Accessories. Okay, that's a little broader than what I had, but I was right too. Okay. A sketch, a bit, a joke, and a routine are all things you can do in a comedy show, right? There's sketch comedy like Saturday Night Live. There's a comedy routine like an entire stand-up set. There's a bit, which is just a thing you do like Bo Burnham, he meant to drop the water. And then there's a joke, like capitalism. It's not a very good joke. None of these other things are things you can do in a comedy show, so bingo. Comedian's output. Yeah, sure, fine. Next. Appeal, draw, charm, and pull are all synonyms for, like, charisma, right? Someone can have charm, or they can be a draw, or they can, yeah. I've got pull with someone. Exactly. Attraction. Now then, freight, stone, canine, and often. What the hell? So there's a freight train, you pull freight, but you don't pull stones. You don't really lay freight. You don't. The _communist_Goog. Get it right, Sunflare Space. It's the _socialist_Goog. The masses cannot be trusted to govern themselves. They need a benevolent authoritarian dictatorship. Damn it. I have no idea what the connection of these 4 words is. Let's find out together. Oh, for fuck's sake. 2 letters and a number. 2 letters and... Sonny, you called me a communist. 2 letters and a number. K9, fur 8, off 10. Ah, the New York Times. At least it was the last one, right? Like, if you don't see it, you can make that the last one. And look, it's still a perfect game. We've still got 4 out of 4. Bully for me and all that jazz. Okay. I even forgot to take down the Wordle caution, so we didn't see the full grid thing. Sadness. Okay, fine. Immaculate grid time. We need pirates and giants and mariners and cubs and dudes who had 100 runs scored in a season and dudes who played third base at least one time. Okay. A Seattle Mariner who played third base at least one time is Sean Figgins. Signed a big ol' money contract with the Mariners and was not any good for them. He was quite good with the Angels. That's how he got that big ol' money contract. A Seattle Mariner who scored 100 runs in a season is Edgar Martinez. Sounds like a thing he would have done. He was on base a lot. Good for him. Oh, big stretch. Oh, big stretch. I don't know, should be... Yep. Well, I don't know was the guy on third base, but did he play for the Giants? That's the question. So you need Mariners and Cubs. A Mariner and a Cub is Jamie Moyer. Jamie Moyer was a Cub. Jamie Moyer was a Cub in like the 1890s. And then he grew old and pitched. A dude on the Giants who played third base at least one time is Pablo Sandoval. Pablo Sandoval was very good with the Giants and got a big money contract from the Red Sox and then was not good anymore and went back to the Giants. Well, Pedro Martinez trying to play third base would be something. Wouldn't be anything good. He would hurt himself and everyone around him, but it would be amusing. A San Francisco Giant who scored 100 runs in a season is Kef Gent. There we go. And a dude who played for the Giants and Cubs is Ryan Vogelsong? Why did my brain go to Ryan Vogelsong, especially given that Ryan Vogelsong is Ryan Vogel wrong? I could have sworn he was a Cub. Curses. Foiled again. Would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for you meddling kids and your lack of memory of teams that Ryan Vogelsong played for. Sad. Rod Beck. Rod Beck fits the square. All right, fine. The good news is I don't have to think of oh, God. Sonny, why are we talking about going to third base with Pedro? No. 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 Don't bang Pedro. Oh, God. I could probably make a Goog Buck redeem of, except then people would use it all the time, which, it would be funny. A Pittsburgh Pirate who scored 100 runs in a season is name a good modern Pittsburgh Pirate. And a Pittsburgh Pirate who played third base one time is Pedro Alvarez. Pedro Alvarez did that. He was bad at it. Yay! Name a famous Pirate in Cubs. Yeah, sure, Aramis Ramirez. He's also a Pirate who played third base one time. So good for him. Okay. That is the Immaculate Grid. It's 7:50. We've got time to guess the dot game, don't we? Maybe, hopefully, probably. Let's see here. Let us guess this dot game. It kind of looks like Control, except it's not Control. Name a pub. Slattery's. That's a pub. Now then, this game looks like Control, except it's not Control. It kind of very vaguely looks like... It's not the Stanley Parable, is it? What with the whole office setting and all that? It's probably not, but screw it. It is, in fact, not the Stanley Parable. All right, this feels like a big hint. Like this general style, this logo right here. This probably means something to someone. Certainly not to me, but, you know. All right, so Metacritic score 75%. That means this is not a very well-received game. Probably not a great game. But, I don't know if Metacritic is like at the time or right this very moment. Because if it's right this very moment, that means this is just not a very well-liked game. It's not RoboCop, is it? Is there a RoboCop game? This could be a RoboCop game. There have been many RoboCop games. This is RoboCop: Rogue City. Oh my God. This is RoboCop: Rogue City. Nailed it. I was like, you know what? This logo, I think I might have seen something like that in RoboCop. Also, office setting, that would make sense. Yeah, sure. This is RoboCop: Rogue City. Listen, I'm the greatest Guess the Dot gamer in the history of Guess the Dot game, clearly. We're going to try a Pokédoku again, even though I'm bad at modern Pokemon. We need Psychic, Grass... Mythical? Pokemon, did you make too many legendaries that you decided you needed a legendary that meant legendary, like the way legendary used to be legendary, but then you made too many legendaries, so legendary doesn't mean legendary, so now there's mythical? I think that's exactly what happened. And I've heard. So we need a psychic fairy type. Pokemon, when did you make fairy type? Why and how is fairy type a thing? I don't... We're not going to do Pokedoku anymore after this because it's just going to be me being an old person about Pokemon. I'm such an old person about Pokemon is both a true statement and the title of the episode. I'm such an old person about Pokemon. Okay. Fairy started with X and Y. Okay. There is a Gen 1 psychic type that got dual fairy okay. It's not Clefable, because that's normal type. A Gen 1 psychic type that would have become a fairy? I mean, I can name a bunch of Gen 1 psychic. Mr. Mime? Mr. Mime, are you a fairy type? That feels offensive. I'm gonna... Mr. Mime is... Guys, you can't go... No! You can't go around calling the only Pokemon that affects a prefix to his name that indicates that it is a human man. You can't go around calling the only Pokemon that is a human man a fairy. You can't do that. That's a problem. Why are we... Okay. Okay. There's a fairy grass type. I don't know. That sounds like Celebi. Sure, you're yeah, right? Nope, totally wrong. There's a grass water type. I know grass water types. That's a Lotad. Lotad's a grass water type, right? See, it's got the grass and the water. Yay. I was right. God, okay. So there's a grass type from Hoenn, which is the third gen, right? It's either third or fourth gen. I think it's third gen. So that means it's Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, which I have played. Lotad would have fit, except I already used Lotad, so good job, Goog. Okay, a mythical from Hoenn. Hoenn was the one that actually put Ho-Oh, right? Yeah, Hoenn was the one where Ho-Oh became a thing. No, it was not the one where Ho-Oh became a thing. Ho-Oh was a thing in the pilot of the anime, and it didn't. Okay, it's in Johto. I'll take your word for it. So bad. There's a psychic water type? What? What the hell is a psychic water type? I don't want to... Oh, right. Hoenn's on the box art for gold, isn't he? Also, there's a Gen 1 psychic water type. Oh, right. Psyduck. That seems fairly obvious in retrospect. He's not a psychic water type. I'm such an old person about Pokemon. Right down to the fact where I talk about how great the olden days were, but I don't actually remember them that well. How the fuck is there a psychic water type in Gen 1 that isn't Psyduck? We're not leaving until I think of this psychic water type. Yeah, it's not going to be Golduck either. Oh, it's Starmie. Starmie's a psychic water type, right? Good. I thought of it. We can move on with our lives now. All right, Slowpoke and Slowbro. That's good. They also exist. Oh, God. I have 3 more guesses at this. All right, so we need a mythical water type, which doesn't mean Suicune, because Suicune is only legendary. It's not the legendary of legendaries, like mythical. Gen 4, which is Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, which I did play. I think I beat Platinum. I know I owned Diamond and Platinum, but hey, this isn't fair. Mythical Fairy type is, they actually made Mew, Psychic, and Fairy. Very few people know that because it's not true, but you believed me for a second, didn't you? The grass type from Hoenn is the Gen 3 grass starter, who is bad. What does Lotad evolve into? If I just look up Lotad, will you tell me what Lotad evolves into? No, that's not how this works. What about Grottle? Yeah, this could actually be like this could be the second stage of that might be Chikorita's evolution, actually. I think Chikorita evolves into Grottle, which then evolves into the third thing. Or I'm just wrong, and Grottle is Gen 4. A Psychic type from Hoenn is actually Mime Jr. It's a true fact. It's not actually a true fact. We're so bad at Pokemon. We're so bad at Pokemon. Pokedoku is cute and fun and whatever. And listen, if you like Pokemon and you still know things about Pokemon, more power to you. I don't know shit about Pokemon. I barely know shit about Gen 1 and 2 of Pokemon, which is essentially me saying I barely know shit about like 32% of Pokemon. So I functionally don't know shit about Pokemon. Folks, that is going to do it for us here today on Good Morning Mini Motorways. I will be back tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock Eastern for another edition of the show. Until then, thank y'all so much for watching. Have a good day. Bye-bye.